Mobile devices are a key component of daily life. Everyone has a phone currently, whether it be an iPhone, Android, or even a flip phone. Since phones are so important, when they break or become unusable, it creates stress and strain for the user. The objective of this project is to produce a phone case that can prevent external and internal damage from happening to the phone. The phone will be fitted to the iPhone SE and will be produced using 3D printing. 3D printing is the start of the next technological era as advances in this process are made. As advances in this arise, it will become more applicable to a variety of things while it becomes easier to do. Advances in this process also mean that production cost and time will decrease while availability increases. The phone case will be able to successfully protect the phone from accidents such as dropping the phone. One added feature of the case consists of improved edges to absorb more of the impact. This feature helps decrease damage to the phone if it was dropped on the corner. Many other physical features were added to the case, and a multitude of materials can be used to help strengthen the overall case. And now on to the methods.
So in our methods, we had two cases, and we came up with our final modified case, presenting the differences about from the standard case to what we now have as our new phone case. So what properties that the modified case has in comparison to the standard would be its large corners and bumpers, which absorbs the impact and spreads out the pressure alongside the corners of the iPhone. In order for it to be secure, we have the rounded edges, which allows comfort and smoothness to transport the phone to someone, or use it to make it more comfortable for the user, to hinder no such disturbances when it's inside a compartment or a pocket. We have our raised front bezel, which is it prevents this glass from touching or sliding the screen of the surfaces. And we have security clips to ensure the phone remains within the case in order for it to not slide off or suddenly spring out when the user uses the phone. We also have a camera cutout to prevent camera lens from touching or sliding the surfaces, and to ensure that images come out as clean as a cutout. We have designed a special type of form in order to have the have the backwards camera functional as well as the flashlight. Now on to the materials for the modified phone case.
This phone case can be printed in either a hard material like PLA or ABS, or a softer material like TPU or TPC. A flexible, softer material would be better for absorbing impact, but a non-flexible material could also function to protect the case. If the case is printed with a harder material, the recommended slicer settings are 3 walls and 7% infill, which would create mostly empty crumple zones in the corners and increase the time of impact if the phone is dropped. If a flexible material is used, the recommended settings are 5 walls and 50% infill, which would fill the corners more densely, but with a flexible material, this would increase the ability of the case to absorb impact if the phone is dropped. For our results, we found that the slicer settings for the flexible material required 43 grams of filament and would take 6 hours and 2 minutes. The cost of TPU, a flexible material, is around $20 per kilogram, meaning the material cost is 86 cents per case printed. The slicer settings for our brittle material, like PLA, is around $23 per kilogram, meaning the material cost is 85 cents per case printed. Now on to the conclusion.
So to conclude this poster presentation, the objective of this project is to produce a phone case that minimizes the stress and the force on the phone. The template was created first and then modified using Autodesk Fusion 360. Modifications including the edges being extruded out by 4.7 millimeters for added buffering. A front bezel was added to prevent the glass from touching surfaces and getting damaged. Security clips were added to help the phone stay in case. A 2.7 millimeter cutout for the lens of the camera was also added on the phone case. This phone case is designed to be printed using a flexible material such as TPU, TPE, TPC, or PCTPE. Using one of these materials would protect the phone by acting as a cushion if the phone is dropped. While the flexible material is ideal, if it is printed with a non-flexible material and different print settings, this case would still protect the phone. For both cases, support is required as a security clips and button guards will not properly print without them. So this was the end of our 3D CAD drawing presentation.